Earlier this week, Cupra flew me down to their headquarters right outside of Barcelona in Spain to test drive the brand new Tavascan VZ, a mid-size electric sporty SUV. But I had very limited time with the car, only about 3 hours to test drive this and also the brand new Born VZ. But I was able to just about squeeze in a range test, so in this video, we're going to find out how far the brand new Cupra Tavascan VZ can go on a full charge of battery at a constant 120 kilometers an hour or 75 miles per hour on the motorway. Welcome to Spain and Barcelona, or I'm actually on my way out of Barcelona to do a range test. So just a few caveats. This isn't, my normal range test because I do that in Norway on a specific route, which is the same for all cars, but because I'm at the world premiere press drive of the Cupra Tavascan here in Spain, obviously I'm not able to do this test in Norway. So it's either not making a video or making a video. So there are a few caveats. And also this road here, we started, I don't know, maybe at like 200 meters elevation, and we've climbed to like 500 meters, and it's very twisty and windy. So the road, the change in elevation isn't the best for doing a range test either. And also it does seem a little bit windy here. Or maybe it's just because the asphalt is so smooth, this car is just super quiet. But we'll see. Once I get this back to Norway later this year to test it, I'll know how good the sound insulation from the tires are. But just as a caveat, this car is super quiet because the asphalt here in Spain is just really smooth because they don't have cold winters like we do have in the Nordics. So we're headed northward, I think. I think we're headed like towards Leida, or I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. But we've been on the road for about 15 minutes now, covered 25 kilometers, and the average consumption is 29.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which is very high, but I'm guessing and estimating that once we turn around and we get back to where we started, that is going to be drop down to a more reasonable level. But conditions outside, pretty nice, being here in southern Spain, 24 degrees Celsius and sunny skies, though the weather in Norway and Oslo actually nicer. We have less clouds and pretty much the same temperatures as we have down here. So it's kind of strange traveling 3.5 hours south and having the same climate. But yeah, that is besides the point. So we're going to continue now for about another, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then turn around. This isn't going to be a full 2-hour range test or over 200 kilometers because we're not able to do that in this test because I don't have enough time. Okay guys, we have now arrived at our turnaround point, exit 537. Doesn't tell me anything at all because I've never been here. But all I know is that it's possible to turn around here. So I'm trying to, let's see if we can do this one-handed vehicle. And I know I shouldn't do this one-handed, but there we have the consumption, 29.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers after 42 kilometers and 23 minutes on the road. But I think we're going to now, once we turn around and head back towards Barcelona, we're going to drop in elevation. So I think we're going to go turn around in this roundabout here, and then we're going to enter over there. So we're just going to do this. I mean, we're just doing running and gunning here. I don't really know what I'm doing, where I am, or have much of a plan, so I'm trying to make the best out of this. And I think this is the entrance to, that means motorway. I think all countries in Europe use blue signs as motorways, except for Sweden. For some reason, they use green signs. I don't know why, but yeah, it is what it is. So let's head towards back towards Barcelona, towards the Cupra factory and Cupra headquarters in Martorell, and I'll talk to you guys once we get there. Okay, we are now back here approximately where we started. I'm not sure this is the exact same exit as where we entered because there's a shopping mall here which I didn't see before, so we're just going to stop here probably in the parking lot of this KFC, and there's no chargers here that I can connect to that I usually do, So again, a little bit of a different range test, because usually at the end of these range tests, I connect to a charger and we see what charging speed we get after a few hours on the road. But considering it's 27 degrees Celsius outside, I don't think we're gonna have any, problems with getting enough speed. The battery should be up to temperature and well beyond that. Oh, that lady, I thought she was gonna drive. She's like slammed on the brakes when there was no cars. So we're just gonna hop in here. No, we're not allowed to go to the right here. Oh, we have to go right. No, where do we go? Over here. And then just stop at a parking lot here so I can show you guys the actual consumption of the car. Okay guys, as you can see, our average consumption is now down to 21.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and we've covered 88 kilometers. That is considerably lower than, earlier, because we were climbing, and now we're down at a much lower elevation from when we started. Now let's take a look at the results. And as I said earlier in this video, there are a few caveats with this specific range test. We're here in Spain, outside of Barcelona, so we're on a route, or we drove on a route today, which I'm not familiar with. We just had to pick a direction to drive on the motorway, and we chose A2 Northwest. And what I didn't know is that we started at about 100 meters in elevation, where we are now, but we climbed to almost 600 meters, like 550 meters, something like that. And of course, going back, we're going to recoup a lot of that energy, but not 100%. So if we went on a flat surface or on a flat route, which is the one we usually do back home in Norway, and we also have a little bit less wind than we had today, I'm pretty sure that the average consumption would have been even lower than what we had today. So just to, be clear about that. So let's take a look at the actual numbers and do the calculation. So if we take the usable battery capacity of this car, which is 77.0 kilowatt hours, we divide it by the consumption, 21.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and then subtract 3% in heat loss. That gives us a theoretical range under today's conditions of 352 kilometers. And I think that is pretty decent. That's basically what we get out of this car's cousin, the Skoda Enyaq Coupe VRS, and I don't think you can expect any more out of this. But with that being said, I do think if we did this test back in Norway under similar conditions, or less windy weather on our normal route, we probably would have been able to get a little bit lower consumption. And I think at that point it's actually pretty impressive. What I think is impressive here is that they made a very sporty package. This car, looks really mean. It's very sporty on the exterior. It's very sporty to drive without taking away any of that efficiency. That was their goal, and I think they pretty much were able to do that. So yeah, so far a very good product. And the worst thing that could have happened here is that they made all of those changes to make it sporty, and then it was maybe like 10 or 15 or 20% less efficient. That's not the case. So I think they achieved their goal with the Cupra Tavascan. So I'm happy with those results. So guys, let me know what you think down below about the results of the Cupra Tavascan. Are they as expected? Are you disappointed? Or are you pleasantly surprised? So let me know in the comment section down below. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.